I decided to turn my Souls-like indie game into a third-person shooter. Just kidding, I'm not, but it will be added as a mechanic. So, this is how I did it. So it all begins in Blender. I start by placing a reference image, and then I take the cube and I start making loop cuts, and I start placing the edges in the position according to the reference image. After making the profile view of the bow, I switch the view direction, and then I start adjusting the thickness of the bow. Lastly, I added a string, which is just a cylinder with 6 sides, and then I scale it correctly. And there it is, our model. Now let's put it in the game and see how big it is. And as you can see, it's a bit huge, and we gotta scale it correctly. So let's go back to Blender and rescale it. And here we are in game, and as you can see, the bow is looking pretty good. So now, let's make an armature for the bow, so this way we can deform the string. And after a long and stressful time of weight painting, I finally managed to get a string that deforms the bow correctly, as you can see here. And now that we have the mesh for the bow, it's finally time to start coding the movement of the player. And after 4 whole days of work, we finally have some movement. It may not look like much, but this is the whole base of the shooter. We can walk and strafe, we can run, and we can aim. And as you can see, as we aim, we also have a reticle, and we zoom in the camera. Okay, cool, I have a bow, but I also need an arrow, so let's begin modeling it. It's gonna be pretty much the same process as the bow. I'm just gonna take the reference image, make a hexagon, and model it according to the image. And there it is, this is how the arrow is looking. And as you can see, the bow pulls the string and it deforms correctly, as it should. Now, the moment of truth. Let's shoot and see if the arrows will go correctly. And I think it's working. I mean, the arrows are going straight, they are just landing a bit weird, but it's better than before. Now we gotta make the character aim to where we are looking at. And the way I'm gonna do it is by using the animation rigging. The way it's gonna work, the rig makes the chest of the character aim towards this purple ball, and I'm also gonna shoot a raycast from the player's camera and make the ball follow the hit position. So this way the player will always be aiming towards the hit position of the raycast. And now if we're going to play mode, we can test it out. And as you can see, the player is looking towards the purple ball, which means that we can now shoot stuff. So let's try to shoot this target dummy here. I'm gonna aim here real quick and shoot it. I can finally shoot a target. And I can also shoot you, so be careful. Okay, this is cool and all, but I gotta implement this into the actual gameplay. So I'm gonna begin by making the bow an actual item. I'm gonna go here, create new item, new weapon, and I'm just gonna fill up the information of the bow. And I'm also gonna make a sprite for the bow. For this, I have a scene in my game that I can easily make some display sprites for the items. So let's just adjust the rotation here. Then I can go to Photoshop and take out the background and make the image. And if we check it in the imagery, we can see that it is appearing with the image. But now you know the drill. Let's go back to coding because there's still a lot of stuff I gotta implement into the game and do. So let's begin. And well, here we are. I can safely say that we're done today, and I'm here beside the attack dummy because we're gonna test something out. So let's go to the imagery and equip the bow. As you can see, it's working as expected. It can walk, strafe, can aim and shoot, and as you can see, we're gonna do damage to our dummy. See, there it is, 34 damage, and we can also unequip the bow. Like, let's just press the button here and we unequip it, and let's do it again to equip it again. One thing that we can also do is equip a sword as well. So let's go to the equipment and equip the sword, and let's press the same button and we have the sword in our hand. And it's fully working, and let's see, 61 damage, working as expected. And let's change our item to the bow and we can start shooting again like this. And now that we have the bow and arrow, we can finally do some hunting. So let's kill the boar here real quick. And well, there it is. I'm still not completely done with this. There's a lot of polishing that I gotta do. Like for example, the string of the bow, like look at this, it's not normal. But this already took me a whole week to do. So I'm gonna stop for now. I do plan on adding a bunch of different gameplay styles in the future. For example, having a wand, a staff for summoning creatures from the underground. I want to have all kinds of combat in the game. But now I'm going to shift my focus a little bit into level design because the game has nothing for you to do currently. You have nothing to do in the game. So I'm going to try to add stuff for you to do, add more content into the game because soon you're going to be able to play it. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.